just have to cut my nails, damn. Oh, hey, what are you doing here? Oh wait, you're here to watch the video. What's wrong with me? Welcome to the video, guys. We're gonna do a whole season 1 recap of everything that happened in Teen Wolf. This is everything you need to know so you can start following season 2 if you missed it. A lot of people are just like, oh, that's fucking gay. Like, you watching Teen Wolf? That's not for guys. Yeah, it's that little high school thing, but look, it has a lot of the elements that everybody loves. Sex, romance, passion, betrayal, lust, love. The only thing it's missing is drugs. Wait, why am I watching this show? Should be watching The Workaholics. Teen Wolf, Season 1 recap. Scott, a high school student, gets bitten by a werewolf while he's wandering off in the woods and suddenly has superpowers. I mean, not superpowers like burning down buildings, but superpowers like he could see things and smell things and he could run really fast. Of course, he has superior strength, but it only happens when he turns into a wolf, and he turns into a wolf when he kind of gets like really passionate or angry over something. Sounds like me, but all the fucking time. The only one who knows his secret is his best friend Styles and another mysterious wolf called Derek. Drama ensues when he tries to keep it a secret from the girl he falls in love with, Allison, whose father is actually a hunter of wolves. Oh shit. So you know it's about to get interesting. A father is about to beat the shit out of a kid who's a wolf. The main characters are Scott, of course, as I told you, he's the main character, the wolf. Allison, the girl that Scott falls in love with. Her family hunts down werewolves as a career, I guess, or some shit. Which she finds out later in the season. She doesn't fully know everything about her family until later in the season. Styles is Scott's best friend, and he's always there for him, tries to help him control and tame his wolf transformations. Derek, a mysterious character who was born a wolf, keeps trying to get Scott to capture the quote-unquote alpha, who's the first wolf that supposedly bit Scott and made Scott become a wolf. His uncle is supposed to be paralyzed in the hospital, and his family died in a house fire. And the survivor was him, his uncle, and his sister, Laura. Jackson is another kid in high school. He's the captain of the lacrosse team, and pretty much Scott's rival throughout the season. Lydia is Jackson's girlfriend, pretty much, you know, really obsessed over Jackson, like every girl. And Styles has a crush on her, and he had a crush on her since he was young. So Scott finds out some truth from Derek. When a girl winds up dead, Scott tries to go to Derek and get some answers. He thinks Derek is the killer and the one who bit him. They fight each other, but when they meet, Derek tells him the real truth. He says that they were both bit, that they are quote-unquote betas. The alphas are the ones who started that. He says the alpha is looking for him and wants him to become part of his pack. Then Scott gets closer with Allison. When Scott and Allison almost sleep with each other, we start to see Scott's transformations as passion makes him, you know, it brings up his nails. Oh, stop! Nails go yellow and his eyes turn cool-looking yellow-green color, and he just starts flipping out, and he has to keep hiding this from Allison. But later that day, Allison shows him her basement. It turns out that her father has like an arsenal of weapons, and she says that he sells weapons to law enforcement, but she doesn't know the truth is that her family is actually hunters of wolves. Then we see Styles helping Scott control his transformations. Styles realizes that his transformation is related to his heart rate, ba-boom, ba-boom, and he figures that if he can control his heart rate, then he can control his transformation. So he starts like throwing shit at him, like throwing baseballs and throwing stuff at him to get him angry and keep on seeing if he can like calm down. I don't know how you can just throw a baseball at someone and just tell him to calm the fuck down. Don't get angry. Of course you're gonna get angry. What happens is Styles comes into a revelation, which is that he finds out that the one thing that can really tame him is love, of course. You know, it's kind of cool actually. So it turns out that like his love for Allison is really the thing that keeps him calm. Well, it's not Allison per se, so you know, girls don't get too excited. It's the love and the compassion, the romance. That drives the guy. It's the most annoying thing in the world. Of course they don't talk about the part about romance where a guy has to buy everything, and when he finds that out, he's gonna turn into a crazy ass werewolf again. He doesn't know because he's just in high school right now. Derek comes looking for Scott again, and then Jackson says he's not gonna tell him where Scott is, so Derek like grabs him by the neck, but like accidentally like his claws come out and give him a little scratch, and we don't know what is gonna happen with that. When Derek leaves, we see Jackson go into the bathroom, claws come out of his mouth, so he starts like bugging out, and we're not fully sure what's going on with that. I don't think it fully penetrated him at that time. Then Scott meets Derek's uncle, Peter Hale. While Scott gets closer to Allison's family, Derek tells him the story of how his uncle was a survivor out of that fire. So they now want to pursue finding the alpha wolf. So then Derek and Scott and Styles go to the school to meet the alpha wolf, and as they're there, the wolf comes out from behind Derek and just throws him. He's kind of like knocked unconscious, and he starts chasing Derek and Styles. While Derek and Styles are being chased, Allison was expecting Scott to meet him, so he's late, and then she gets like a crazy text that says like, come to the school, it's urgent, which she feels is not really from him. Then she goes to the school. Now, if you don't think it's from him, like, why go to the school? I don't know. But she goes anyway, where she finds Derek and Styles like running. Then they hide into a building. They all see the werewolf coming after. Then she's like wondering why he's lying so much and what's going on. He's not telling her the truth. He tells him to stay there while he goes and tries to fight the wolf. And as he goes there, the wolf kind of attacks him. Doesn't really bite him or do anything. So then he goes back to Allison. She breaks up with him because she's upset that she feels like he's lying too much. And then he realizes that the wolf was trying to put like ideas in his head to kill all his friends. So now it's like he's trying to control the wolf inside of him and at the same time stop himself from like killing everyone. That sounds like pretty much everyone in the world. You have to just stop yourself from killing the person next to you. Nah, that's pretty sick actually, but I just wonder, like, when they were gonna go meet the wolf, they weren't ready at all. What did they think was gonna happen? Hey, Mr. Wolf, could you like leave us alone pretty please? You know, get prepared, get some arrows or some shit. So Allison breaks up with Scott, of course, and who comes along? Jackson, you know, his rival. She's on his dick suddenly. So Jackson has this in the bag and now he's throwing it into Scott's face, the typical thing that annoys every guy. But Scott starts to really lose his temper now and starts, you know, because now he doesn't have Allison no more. He's going kind of like crazy. Now Scott really wants a cure because he can't take the fact that he can't have Allison. So he's like, look, I really need to stop this. I can't have a relationship like this and still be a crazy ass werewolf. Then Derek finally betrays Scott. So Derek finds out Peter, his uncle, turns out to be the alpha wolf, and he tells Derek that Allison's family burnt down the house and actually killed his entire family. He kind of like lures him in to side with him against Allison's family. So now he tries to get Derek to kind of like lure in Scott so that he can go get Allison's family. So now shit gets kind of crazy. So then Derek actually finds out that, you know, kind of betrays him, kind of lures him into his uncle, and they're in the shower. And then as Scott is about to meet Derek, Peter's uncle comes out and kind of like scratches him a little bit, and then he falls to the floor. But when he falls to the floor, he has a really interesting vision. Someone whose name is Kate from Allison's family, which is Allison's aunt, actually burnt down the house, and Peter killed his niece, which is Derek's sister, in order to become the alpha werewolf. Derek doesn't know that yet. So as of now, Derek is tagging along with Peter to try to get Allison's family. Derek actually ends up getting caught by Kate. Kate is Allison's aunt. So it's revealed there that Kate had a relationship with Derek in the past, but she betrayed him. She got close to him in order to destroy his family. Oh, that's so fucking evil. So he finds that out. We find that out. Now he really wants to get Allison's family. Kate is like a really vicious character, while Derek is being like kind of hung, not hung to death yet, but he's just being tortured. Everyone's at a dance and Scott sees Allison. They make up. He goes in, asks for the dance. They kiss. He tells her that he loves her. Jackson breaks up with Lydia. Styles, Scott's friend, tries to go in for the move, tries to dance with Lydia, but Lydia doesn't really fully like Styles. She still wants, of course, her ex-boyfriend, Jackson. Somehow throughout the dance, Jackson runs off. Lydia goes to try to find him. She runs into Peter Hale, Derek's uncle. I don't know, he does something, we're not fully sure. He scratches her and she falls to the floor. Scott, while all this shit's happening, he goes out and runs with Allison. They run to an empty school bus and they start making out. Allison's dad comes looking for them. Scott leaves the school bus, tries to figure out what's happening, and then suddenly turns into a wolf. Allison sees that Scott is a wolf for the first time ever. She's like bugging out, like, oh my god. So now it's like Allison goes back to her family. She's confused, like, oh, he's a wolf, I don't know what to do. Then Jackson takes Lydia to the hospital. Finally, Jackson finds it in him and he's like crying, oh, like, Lydia, like, I just broke up with you, bitch, but suddenly, like, oh, when I see blood on you, I love you again. And then Allison goes to visit her in the hospital. While Allison's looking at her in the hospital, you see quick shots of Lydia, like, blood all over her, and like, so you're not sure what happened. Like, is she a wolf, is she not? So Scott needs Derek, so he goes to save Derek because he wants his help to get Allison back. As he goes to save Derek, he tells Derek the truth. He tells him about his uncle. I'm like, look, your uncle actually killed your sister. Derek is like, oh my god, like, he's kind of confused, like, wait, my uncle's my enemy. So he tells him he's gonna go help Scott to go get Allison. So as they're walking in the woods, suddenly Derek gets an arrow right to his shoulder and he falls to the floor, and it turns out to be Kate and Allison. Scott and Derek are caught, and then Allison goes up to Scott for the first time. She's holding an arrow to him. He's like trying to tell her, like, I lied to you only because to protect you and all this stuff. And then Kate comes along, she's just like, kill him. Allison still has a soft spot for Scott, so she gets upset. But then Kate walks in with a gun and just shoots Derek, and then says she's about to shoot Scott. As she's about to shoot Scott, she pushes Allison down. Then Allison's father comes up on the scene and tells her to stop because Scott never really hurt anyone. Father actually didn't know that Kate burnt down the house. So he tells her, now I know what you did, you need to stop because we only go by the code. So it turns out there's a code, a certain way to kill the wolves, and really wants to abide by that. Like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, but I'm gonna kill you the right way. Scott's kind of saved, and then suddenly the alpha, Peter, appears in the barn, and now they all kind of team up to fight Peter, the alpha, the real alpha. Scott tells Allison to kind of run away. The alpha grabs Kate by the throat, and he says, apologize,
for killing my entire family and leaving me burned for 6 years. And he's looking directly at Allison as he's saying that. And then Kate is like, she apologizes, but then he just like slices her throat and kills her. So then Allison's like freaking out and like this shit's getting real. And then Scott tells her to run. What happens is Jackson and Styles come by, and then Jackson throws a Molotov cocktail. Like, where'd he get that shit from? I don't know, but maybe he made it in chemistry class. Then he throws the Molotov cocktail on top of the wolf, and then the wolf catches it. Allison shoots the Molotov cocktail with the arrow, and it explodes, and he's all burnt alive. But he's not fully dead. And suddenly, like, Scott gets up, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna protect you. And then he kicks the wolf, and the wolf falls down. It's like everything's happening. He's still half asleep, and then suddenly he comes out of nowhere. After the thing is burnt to the ground, he gives it a kick, and it falls. I don't think the kick really hurt him that much. Derek arrives on the scene, hovers over his uncle, about to kill him, and then Scott's like, no, don't kill him, because I have to kill him, because I need to get cured. If you kill him, I can't get cured. I have to kill the alpha. And then Derek looks at him, and then slashes his uncle's throat and kills his uncle, and he turns around and looks at Scott and says, I'm the alpha now. So now we have a real problem. Scott is still cursed as a wolf. Derek is now the alpha. Scott and Styles go to the hospital to visit Lydia, and they look at her cut, and it's still there. And then Scott says it's not healed yet, so that means she's not a werewolf. And then Styles is like, what is she? And they don't know what she is, so there's something up with her. And then Jackson goes to Derek in the middle of the night and tells him, I helped you, now help me. And it ends with Derek's mouth open, and then Jackson also becomes a wolf. Subscribe for more awesome TV recaps and comment below what do you think is going to happen with Jackson. It's kind of nutty. In the description below you'll find my Facebook, Guy-Fi. Like it to get some more awesome TV recaps.